Hi everyone, today I want to talk about whether or not you should have the guardian for your children also be responsible for managing the assets you leave behind to raise them. My name is Eric Scruell, and before I answer that question, I think it's important to understand the two roles we're talking about. The guardian is the person you've identified to take custody of the children in the event you pass away while they're still young. Now, this person is someone that you've identified as the very best person who can raise your children, provide a warm, loving, and stable home for them until they become adults and can live on their own. Now, a trustee, by contrast, they're responsible for managing the financial assets you leave behind. And so their primary function is to be a good steward of the money you've left for them, make sound investment advice, and to make sure that that money is available to the kids and their guardian for whatever their needs may be. Now, for many people, this can be the same person. You find a guardian that would be an ideal candidate to raise the kids, and they're willing to do it. And they're also, very competent with managing money, and you really trust them to do that. But there may be an instance where the guardian you've identified is the absolute best choice, may not be quite as savvy with finances as you would like. And in that instance, you may want to have a trustee that is a different person. Now, if you do decide to go this route, you need to make sure that there's an open dialogue and line of communication between the trustee and guardian. They're going to have to work really well together in the event that they're called on to serve in those roles. The guardian needs to be able to communicate with the trustee about a need for funds, and the trustee needs to make those funds available. This is one instance where there is a potential for conflict to arise, and the more communication you have in advance to address that and identify any potential problem areas beforehand will go a long way to making sure that the relationship will be smooth, solid, and everybody will be able to fulfill their roles going forward. So that's a little, so I guess what I'm saying at the end of the day here is that there's no real right or wrong answer. And being able to consider different people in each of those roles may open up better, make it easier for you to identify better individuals to take on each of those functions. Just make sure that it's done with open lines of communications and making sure that the people you've identified are going to work really well together to make sure that your kids are going to be really well taken care of in the event something happens to you. If you have more questions about this or want to talk about a particular situation you're in, feel free to leave us a comment, send us a private message. We'd be happy to help you out. Until next time, take care. Bye.